open the lock. V'ratzti l'Rabbi Eidu b'sefer told us like Yosef, I ran to my Rebbe. I assumed that means Achiyat Shiloini. Ubikashti mimenu, and I asked from him. V'amarti Yisrael nesuna b'tzora gedoyle kazu. And I said to him, Klal Yisrael is in such a great, terrible situation. Klal Yisrael is in a tzara. V'achshav ein meinichem ois likones. Now they don't let me come in. Ki be'eisach lo yisi doich gesatzim likones. At another time, I wouldn't have pushed so hard to get in. But now, in this situation, in this dire situation, I felt the need to push to get in. And my Rebbe told me, I will go with you. If it will be possible for me to open, I'll open it. And he also, my Rebbe also came and messed with the lock, and he also couldn't open it. He said to me, what can I do? I mean, I can't open it. And I began to lament before my teacher, how could you have abandoned me in this time of woe? And he answered, I don't know what to do with you. You and I will go to the place of Mashiach. Maybe the salvation will come from there. And I went with a great tumult to the palace of Mashiach. When Mashiach saw me from far away, he told me, don't scream. And he gave me 2 letters, a special formula, to open the gate. And I came to the gate. By the aid of these letters, praise be unto God, I was able to open the lock. And I opened the gate. And I brought through all the prayers. And because of that great rejoicing, because of that great rejoicing that all the prayers were uplifted, the accusing angel, his mouth was stuffed up, was stopped up because of the great rejoicing in heaven over the prayers that were uplifted. And I didn't need even to the mouth of the accusing angel was quieted, and I didn't even need to come before the heavenly throne with specific points to make as to why I'm justified, because everything was taken care of. The decree was nullified. Only the imprint from the decree was left. And from that imprint from the decree I remember. From that decree I remember that there was a great tumult in the world. Because many people sent away their books to Dinas Valachaya, to Wallachia, which is today part of Romania. And this Kitrig was from Katshapti Tzvi. The Sabbatians, the Sabbatians made their names be erased, which in this context basically refers to the Frankists, the Frankisten. And now the narrator of the story is telling how this Kitrig, this accusation, was reflected in this world. And things happening in this world. Because there was a story that happened in this world that everyone could see, which corresponded with the Baal Shemtov's heavenly involvements presented at the beginning of the story. And the story goes like this. The bishop of Kamenetz, the Catholic bishop of Kamenetz in Ukraine burned 2 shasin or 2 mesechtes. V'rav the kilosenu the omer kilok me amoix the kvar shelo shas bechazaka shim leavur shas v'nicham al eish, that he took swarm from people shasin, the archbishop, and he put them on the fire and he burned them. Ubavanisenu arab nisraf kuloi. And because of our many sins, the whole Talmud was burned by this bishop. The Toidel Lekel, thank God, take the bishop as soon as the bishop stood in front of the fire, Niziki was damaged. That bishop was damaged. And they brought him to the town Kamenetz. And by the time they got the bishop to Kamenetz, he was the bishop died along the way. He decreed that the Talmud should be burned, and then he was, so to speak, burned by his own fire. When he came too close to the fire, so he died because of that, and he got his punishment right away. And by the time they took him home, he was dead. And afterwards, there was a vikuach, a dispute, before the bishop of Lvov, that's Lemberg, that was in Ukraine then, sometimes in Galicia. So this also refers to a vikuach when they talk about these vikuchim, these disputations with the Frankists, and they were basically forced by pressure from the bishops to engage in disputations with the Frankists, who were in the Frankist continuation of antinomian, Sabbatean sectarianism, and the Frankists were dickering with the church about possibly converting. And the Frankists leveled various accusations against the rabbis. So the bishops forced, at least on 2 occasions, it's known that the bishops forced the rabbis to engage in disputations with the Frankists. So,
including the blood libel.
That's correct. They did fling the blood libel at the rabbis. That's correct. So, over here, 2 different disputations held in front of different bishops are referred to. The first disputation is held in front of the bishop of the town Kamenitz, and the rabbis get the worst of it, and the Frankists come out on top, and because of that, the bishop accepts accusations against the town, and the bishop decrees the burning of the town. And but it's a little complicated. He gets his punishment right away because he also gets burned and he dies. But then there was a dispute in front of the bishop of Lvov, and then the results were different. There was a dispute before the bishop of Lvov, but then it was different. When they had the dispute in front of the bishop of Lvov, even though the Frankists showed up, fear of the Torah fell upon the bishop. And he didn't do wicked deeds and didn't decide to burn the Talmud. And then the Frankists, this evil sect, kulam hishtamdu, they all converted. For they made for them a tremendous humiliation. That they should cut off one of their payas and half their beards. So it should be recognized. So it should be recognized that they're not Yidden and not Goyim, because they're not Yidden because they don't keep the Torah. They have all the antinomian practices, and they still weren't Goyim because they were still living as Jews with the Jewish identity. So they decreed upon them. The bishops decreed upon them that they should cut off one of their payas and half their beards to show that they're not Yidden and not Goyim, and because of that they were so embarrassed they couldn't live like that. So because of that they went and actually converted and became Christians. Now at the end of the story it says, about those people who converted the Frankists, that the Baal Shemtov said about them, that the Shekhinah, the divine presence, cries out and says, as long as the organ is attached to the body, it's possible that there will be some cure for the malady as long as the organ is attached to the body. When you cut off the organ, there's no way to fix the organ as long as the organ is cut off from the body. Because every one from Klal Yisrael, every Jew is like an organ of the skin, is like an organ of the divine presence. So now, that's the story. Now, what do we see from this story? What do you see about the way the Baal Shemtov is portrayed in this story? One thing we see is that he's very concerned about communal affairs. He's involved, trying to stave off persecutions. Now, it's interesting to see the correspondence between the way the Baal Shemtov views the world, the Baal Shemtov's heavenly activities, and what's going down on earth. The Baal Shemtov says that there's a decree that Torah Shebal Peh should be taken away from Klal Yisrael, and this is related in the story to actual decrees where these bishops actually burned the Talmud.